Hey everyone, it's Paolo. Now today we have a special episode for you because I am talking with actress Elisa Donovan. Now we all remember her from Clueless, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and 90210, and so much more. But today she has a beautiful book out called Wake Me When You Leave. Let me tell you, I read her book. It is so personal and so touching, and I can't wait for you guys to read it. So I'll see you guys with Elisa Donovan. Are you ready? You're
Yes.
good? Okay. Elisa Donovan, hi!
Hi! I'm so happy to see you.
I know, the last time we saw each other was when you were guesting a Spoonful of Apollo the first time, which was, I think it was November of 2013. It was crazy.
That's right. My daughter was super small.
Yeah, she was like 18 months, I think. She was like, about a year and a half old. I know.
Yep.
Wow. So I want to say thank you again for coming back on our show. I'm really excited. Obviously, I want to congratulate you with your new book. Honestly, I read it obviously, and I want to say that, I found it so beautiful, so raw, so hopeful, funny. It's something that you have been through in a short period of time with losing your father, losing your job, losing a relationship that you thought you were going to be marrying this person. So I just want to thank you for being so open. I want to start by saying that. Thank you, because it was
I want to
beautiful.
say, first of all, thank you for reading it.
Of course.
And I'm so happy that you have that response to it. It's really, it's a piece of my heart, or my whole heart and soul, really. And my hope is that people will feel more comfortable sharing these kinds of things. I really believe that there are challenges in life, big and small, and they can enhance our lives and make us have a greater connection to humanity and to understanding ourselves. And so I hope that we can kind of open up that dialogue a little bit more, rather than being afraid of it or saying, oh, I don't like to talk about difficult things. And I hope we shift that.
Well, I think we're going to start that right now in this interview because I know this has been a process for you, because I think you started it. It was a one-woman show back in 2008 at Geffen Theater.
That's right.
And now here you put your heart and your soul into this, and it's coming out on June 8th. What do you think that moment will feel like for you? Because this has been a work in progress. You have poured your heart and soul into this.
It's kind of indescribable is what I will say. But at the same, so I'm so elated. And then I also feel like when we do these projects that are our soul projects that I believe are meant to be done and meant to be put into the world, there's just a feeling of freedom and like a flow that happens where I feel so just really excited. And I kind of can't believe it. I feel really proud of it, and just happy that finally people are going to be able to read it.
Yeah, Well, take it in. You better take in every second of that day, because you deserve it. You really do. You start off the book by that phone call, the phone call that no one ever wants to get. When your brother calls you to give you the news about your father. Tell us about that, because I think we all remember that. I mean, I remember just a couple months ago, I got that phone call because my mom has been really sick, and you're never going to forget that phone call. But for you were in your car, and what happens? Your brother calls you to tell you what?
Yes. So first, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom.
Thank you.
I've been thinking about you guys and thinking good thoughts all the time.
That means a lot to me. Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
So I was just sitting in my car outside of the Mayfair Market, which is now something else in LA. And I had just found out that Sabrina was canceled, and I did not have a job. And I had the script of another pilot that I thought I was going to do, that I didn't get the job. And I'm just kind of sitting there in the parking lot like, oh, what's gonna happen here with my life, And then my phone rings, and it's my brother. And he says, Dad has terminal cancer of the esophagus, and it's inoperable. And I remember just sitting there, and it was like a hot summer day, and I'm in my car with the air conditioning on, and there was just this deafening silence. And I thought, what? I didn't understand what was really happening. I felt like, what does that even mean? Cancer is this kind of amorphous idea that I had no experience with, and this can't really be happening. And it just felt like everything was falling to pieces. And I didn't even know what to say. It's like I didn't believe what he was saying, and so it took me out of the work stuff for a minute. But I still couldn't really metabolize it. Like I just didn't believe it. I was like, well, what does that mean, really? Is he really sick? Like, is he? I just couldn't conceive of it.
Take it in.
He was this like healthy.
I mean, especially because it's a parent, it's your father. So it just, to take it all in and to understand it and say, wait, terminal what? The C word? Oh my God, because we all know someone who's dealing with cancer, but when it comes to you and it's your own family member, someone you love, it just changes it all. But throughout your book, you really you have some beautiful moments with your father, and one particular that I really fell in love with. You write, when you went to go home, you went to go visit him, you said, his lips were so dry, I had never seen anything so cracked and chapped. I took the lip balm from the nightstand and dabbed it onto my fingertip and softly applied to his lips. I took the hand lotion and gently rubbed it into his hands. I was tender in a way that I didn't know I could be. For me, that really stood out because that's what I'm doing with my mom right now, is just those moments of the chapstick, the lotion on the feet, and it's like you're just there, and I'm present right now, just doing all this stuff. For you, when you were writing this, did you know that were you being present at the moment, or are you like, what the heck am I doing? What's happening with my dad?
I felt like there was this, an instinctual thing that you do. I just went, oh, okay, the chapstick is here. Obviously, it's here for a reason. Oh, I should put this on his. And I didn't have that kind of intimate and comfortable relationship with my dad. So it didn't come naturally per se, but I felt like I'm put in this situation. I almost felt more present than I ever had in my life, I think. And at the same time, disassociating, like, oh, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. And trying to say, okay, this is happening. I need to remember this. I felt that a lot through the whole process of kind of standing outside of myself and saying, this is something I should be remembering. Like I need to remember this. Wow. But you kind of, some things are too much. So I kind of like took it in pieces, Yeah. But that moment that really brought everything into perspective for me, because that was the first moment that I really saw him sick. When I had gone home before to visit, the month or two before, he didn't look well, it was clear, but he was home and he was up and about and things. So that first moment in the hospital was like a real shocker. That was a big one.
I remember there was a moment when you were in the hospital and they were telling you, the doctors, that your father was going to be able to go home on Christmas Day. And you were getting ready to go give your father the good news that you're get to go home on Christmas Day. And as you were walking to the room, you were thinking of all the moments that he brought you comfort and relief. And one of those moments I'll share what you write. You say, I thought of the moment years ago when I called him and told him I just spent the night in the hospital because of my anorexia. I admitted that I had been starving myself for years and was finally truly going into recovery, terrified. He very calmly and steadily said, I love you. I don't know anything about this thing. Just tell me what you need. How can I help you? And I will. You're going to be okay. I mean, did that moment help you get to where you needed to be, like regarding your health? Like that must have been such a sacred, beautiful moment for you, like just thinking of that,
Yes. Yeah. Because so many things, because when that was happening, I was so, in the hospital, when I was thinking about it, I was so excited to be able to do something for him in that way, to comfort him and make him feel good. So I had this idealistic idea of how it was going to go, that I was going to walk in and give him this beautiful news and he was going to say, you're a wonderful daughter and thank you. And, that's not what happened. He was furious and angry and, it was horrible. It was one of the most difficult moments in the whole process. And, so that also taught me that lesson of, we can prepare for anything and we have our ideas about how we want everything to go. And life just doesn't always roll out in the same way. There's sometimes a different plan. And, but when that was happening when I was anorexic, him, just that kind of very direct but loving response immediately made me feel like, oh, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Even though I had no idea of how to do that and no real desire yet to get healthy. I felt like, oh, this is, I'm going to be okay because he is involved,
Gosh, that's so beautiful. When I was reading your book, really, you also remind us all that even when you lose someone, that they're always still there with you, that they really never leave you, For you, when did you feel that you were able to have peace with your father? Was there a moment where you were able to say, okay, he may be gone, but I'm okay, because you have whatever it is, memories or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously it's a long process, yes. But I definitely had that real moment. I talk about it in the book through one of my dreams with him. I've had a few of them, but this one, they're visitation dreams. They feel very different from normal nightly dreams. Like you can tell that I felt very lucid. It's just different. You can tell. And he kind of looked at me, and at first he looked very sick, like he did when he was at the end of his life. And we had this moment where we spoke to each other through our minds, and I told him everything about my life. I told him like everything that had happened that he missed and how important he was in my life. And I said, I am who I am because of you. And I thank you. And he looked at me, and he suddenly became healthy again. And he hugged me, and I woke up from this dream, and I was so filled with peace. And it was like he was looking at me and he understood me. He got me. I felt, it sounds so silly, but I felt seen, like he finally understood who I am as a human being and as an artist and as a person and a daughter. Because, we struggled a lot in our relationship. He didn't really, he was a corporate guy. He didn't understand what I do for a living. It was always like, what are you doing? And so it was, we battled a lot, and we had intellectual battles about things and about politics and about religion and everything. And so I think after he passed away, he actually understands me more now than he did when he was alive. And that to me has been an enormous revelation and an incredible comfort to me, that this feeling of when someone dies, they physically might leave, but they're not gone. Like their spirit is always with us and always looking after us. And I was like the part when you were when you're saying goodbye to your father, I'll read it. Your writing, I said this before, but you took it to the whole new level, because it's so beautiful how you write. And when you write about saying goodbye to your father, really you said, this was so surreal, but I felt like I had to say goodbye. In the moment, I wasn't sure if it was more for him or for me, but I knew I had to make the conscious and literal decision to truly let go of him. I leaned down and put my mouth to his ear. Be free, I whispered. Just picture bright blue skies, feel the warm breeze, just float to peace. I love you, Dad. You've been a great father. Thank you. I stood up and walked out of the bedroom, watching him as I left. Did you know how beautiful that moment was, or did you not realize until you were writing this book? Because it's like, I think anyone in that situation, you want to just like say what you want to say. And sometimes we get scared because we don't want to realize what's happening right in front of you. Yes. But you did that. You said, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to say what I'm thinking, what I want to say to my dad. So After I had had my fantastical idea in the hospital that like he was going to greet my my solutions with all this great joy, and it did not go that way. I really retreated and felt like I don't know what to do or how to. But in that moment, after, because the hospice nurse had just left for essentially the last time, and I thought, this is it. I can't. It's this very bizarre, kind of indescribable moment of feeling like it. He couldn't talk. It was that heavy, the breathing, that when the end of someone's life that they call the death rattle. Yeah. And I knew that he wasn't going to be able to verbally respond, but I still felt nervous. I felt nervous to say something, and I felt like you say, that really makes it real, but I also don't know how to. But I just knew something in me just said, you need to do this for yourself, and you need him to hear you, because I didn't feel like I had said everything I wanted to say. And so I just thought, I just have to do this. And I told him what I think what I would want to hear, I feel like that's what I was thinking maybe. And that was one of the hardest things to do, because it just felt, I knew I had to, but it felt incomplete. It felt like I should stay. Should I go? It's all such a mess, but I knew that I had to do that for myself, that I would feel that I couldn't just not say goodbye in that way.
Yeah. It's that something in you telling you, just do it. You're not going to regret it. You're going to love this. You need this moment with your father, because if you were trying to fight it, you probably then would have regretted it. You just wouldn't have that moment that you write about in your book. You know?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. When your reps, your publicists, they sent me the book, I was a little bit nervous to read it at first, and I only say that because of what I'm dealing with my mom. And I was nervous, but I have to say, it is one of the best decisions that I've made this whole year reading your book, because these last couple of days when I'm with my mom, we each day, a sibling and I, we take turns staying with my mom, with my dad and the caregiver, and she's improving a little bit, but there's things we got to work on with her. And I think of when you write about, we talked about the lotion in the hand, or you saying goodbye to your father. I think of these moments, and for me, it really has helped me. It has helped me so much. And I want anyone else who's watching this, whether you have a loved one who's really sick or you've lost someone, your book could really help you in so many ways. So for you, what is the one core message you want, the readers to take out from reading your book? You tell me.
That I want them to feel supported and hopeful, and to know that challenges are a part of what makes life beautiful. It gives us depth. It gives us, as I said before, this connection to humanity and a feeling of real importance and the beauty of existence. And that sounds kind of esoteric and big and all over the place, but it's really true that my life from this experience is so much richer now and so much fuller. And if someone had told me that before, I would have thought they were crazy. And it's not that I don't miss my dad, or I don't feel, of course I do, but he's so there. And I get those messages all the time of him like, what do you mean I'm missing it? I'm not missing anything, And so it's just on a different level. So the one thing I hope that people feel hopeful, and that they feel connected, and know that when someone passes, they don't really leave us. Yeah. They just never do.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I add on to that, I think it's also what I got from reading your book, is that you're never alone, really. Like hearing your story, and you're in my mind when I'm with my mom, just reading your story, you're in my mind, because I'm thinking of what you went through with your dad, and that we're all kind of going through the same thing with these little things of when you're alone with your parent or a sibling or a loved one, and you're doing these things to take care of them, whether it's moving their body or adding the lotion or washing them, combing their hair. It's all these little things that I never really have done for my mother, but I've been doing them the last couple of weeks since she came home. And it's just something that it's, as hard and as ugly this whole thing is, there's a lot of beautiful moments in there, and I got that from reading your book as well. Yeah.
Yes. It really is. I feel for you, because I know how, obviously, how difficult it is while it's happening.
Yeah.
It's really, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's all encompassing. And I'm sure you feel like it's like you're living in this underground cave world,
Yeah.
where everything is just that. And then you walk on the street and you're like, nobody knows what's going on.
Yes.
You could feel very disconnected.
It's true. Like, even like we live in an apartment building in Chicago, and we go in the elevator and someone's saying hello to me. This is going to be a great day. And I'm like, it's going to be a great day. But if it's like, it's just what you said. I'm thinking, well, it is going to be a great day, but you have no idea what I'm going through right now. And I don't want to sit here with the elevator. We only have like 10 seconds and tell you that I am really sad. I'm shocked. I'm confused.
Right.
Why is my mom going through this? She was so great and healthy. She's 65 years old. It's just, you're just thinking all of this stuff. But, you have to find the resources. And your book, Wake Me When You Leave, is one of them that I just say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because you really are so open in this book. And I want everyone to read it and not be afraid. Not be afraid.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's really, I'm so, thank you so much. That's why I wrote it.
Thank you. And I thank you for writing it, really. I mean, I could talk to you for another 30 minutes, but then your reps are going to yell at me. I got to let you go. But I want to tell everyone out there. So, June 8th, your book comes out, and you work so hard on it. And I just want to say that I adore and love you. I think you're just such an amazing person. You've been through so much in your life, and I look at you as a role model to say that if you can get through that, I'll get through this. I will, okay?
Oh, beautiful. I love you very much, and you have such a phenomenal spirit, and you will get through this. And these moments, you just stay present in the moment, and one follows the next, and it's an important time.
Yeah.
It's an important time.
Oh, I'll be thinking, in Italy, my family's from Italy, when your ears ring, it's because someone's talking about you. You feel like a little bell in your ears. Well, just know if your ears have a little bell, it's because I'll be thinking and talking a lot about you the next couple of weeks. So it's probably it's Paolo again. There he goes. There he goes.
I will love it.
Okay. Well, thank you. Congratulations again. I am so proud of you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Paolo, and lots of love to you and your family.
Thank you. I'll take that in. I love you so much.
Okay.
Have a great day, okay?
Me too.
Thank you. Bye. Got it? All right. Patrick, say goodbye.
Bye. I'm like crying over here.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh my God.
This was,
beautiful.
just.
Oh, I love you
you
so. I really do. My heart's with you guys. It is.